Hello guys, and welcome to a new video at Trad Yogis. I haven't posted videos in a while, and that's because I've just changed houses to the gorgeous apartment you see around me right now. Now, the theme for this video is a problem that I've encountered very many times in the spiritual community, and I've heard this issue from other people as well. And this relates to the chakra known as Ajna, or the third eye, and a lot of New Age people thinking they're clairvoyant and can see into other people's emotions. If you've been around New Age communities, you've probably at one point met somebody who has said to you that they see you, or that they can see that you're going through something, or that you're holding on to something. This is very, very typical. People telling you that you should let loose, you should relax more, etc., etc. And the first thing I want to say is that these are blanket statements, very, very general statements that are applicable to almost everyone. So let's say you're in a specific spiritual context. You're probably very open because you're probably doing something you're not used to. Also, if you're being told this after having gone through a heavy meditation class or something, and somebody coming up to you and telling you that they can see that you're going through something. Everybody is going through something at all times during their lives. This is what it means to be human. This within kind of the charlatan business is known as cold reading. And cold reading is where you tell somebody very, very general statements, and then you see how they react to those general statements, and you try to sell yourself off as some kind of psychic. And these people, and here I'm getting to the main theme of this video, assume that they have a active Ajna-chakra, or third eye. Mainly because they don't understand what the third eye chakra is about, which is something I'm going to try to explain to you today. So stay tuned, watch the video, and we'll see if we can make somewhat of a clearer picture on what the Ajna-chakra is actually about. First, I want to say that these people are, of course, not clairvoyant. What they're doing is manipulating other people. It's a very narcissistic way of behaving, telling other people that you can see into them, that you can see what they're going through, that you can see their trauma, etc. This is not something you do to people. It's just not something you do. It's something that you should have an education to do, or some very, very proper training in order to do. And I also want to point out that I know people who are what we would call in the West clairvoyant, people who can see directly through other people. This is a skill that you sort of develop when you work with people over many, many years. But I also want to highlight that the people I know that truly have this ability, people who have an active Ajna-chakra that can pierce through other people and really see their emotional baggage, see their trauma, see their past and their vasanas and samskaras, as we call them in yoga. These people will never, ever tell you that they have this ability. They will never, ever demonstrate it. Why won't they demonstrate it? That's because they do not want to hamper your own development or your own insight into yourself. In order for people to process these sort of things, in order for people to process trauma and to become conscious of their own samskaras, their own patterns of personality or survival strategies, that insight needs to come from the individual in question. It can never come from somebody else. For as soon as somebody else tells you something about yourself, you are most likely going to react with resistance. So people who truly have the ability to really see other people in this way will never ever tell you what they see. They will lead you to the conclusion yourself by asking you questions and by giving your ego challenges, but they will never ever tell you anything about yourself unless they're specifically asked, of course, in a student-teacher relationship, which is something I made a whole other video on. Now, the Ajna-chakra. Do not assume that your Ajna-chakra is active. The Ajna-chakra being active is synonymous with an extremely high development in spirituality and consciousness. People do not understand the upper three chakras that I work with in the West. People seem to think that the Vishuddhi chakra is all about just communication and expressing yourself clearly, and that the Ajna-chakra is simply about like having clarity of mind. No. The Vishuddhi chakra is the center of power within the pranic or the subtle body. The Vishuddhi chakra being active means that you are able to influence reality exactly the way you want, almost without any limits. That's what an active Vishuddhi chakra means. People who have energy centered in the Vishuddhi and who are able to call upon the energy of Vishuddhi chakra are people who can do just about anything within the world because they control this center. Yes, at a physical plane, the Vishuddhi chakra relates to expression, but the true expression that is meant in the Vishuddhi chakra is the expression of the self within the world, the ability to express yourself in the physical world by altering your circumstances. So the Vishuddhi is mainly the power center. If the Vishuddhi is active, you're not only able to control and command the material plane, but also the subtle planes. And when it comes to the Ajna-chakra, the word Ajna means command. And it's also referred to as the third eye or the eye of Shiva. And the reason for that is that the Ajna-chakra being active means that you have gone from a dualistic mind to a non-dual mindset, a non-dual way of perceiving the world. Now, the Ajna-chakra is about perception, but it's about true spiritual perception, being able to see beyond the veils of the physical world into spiritual reality. If the Ajna-chakra is awakened, that means that you have elevated Kundalini to unite with Shiva. It means that you have completely united consciousness and matter within yourself and understood that the entire world around you is simply consciousness in extension. So this is the level of spiritual development we're talking about when we are talking about the Ajna-chakra being active. Well, not necessarily that you're walking around in a non-dual awareness at all times, because then you wouldn't be able to live. But it means that you're able to consciously and willingly access a non-dual state of awareness where you see the entire world around you as simply reflections of you yourself, the drashta, or the Parama Brahma. So that's the spiritual level we're talking about when we talk about an active Ajna-chakra. And these people who rave around in the New Age communities telling other people that they can see into their childhood or see into their emotional baggage simply by making general blanket statements such as, I can see that you're going through something, or I can see that you're not really able to let yourself loose or relax. Come on, this is not even comparable to an awakened Ajna-chakra. And I know people with an active Ajna-chakra, and well, let's just say that these people are not necessarily bound by the limitations of the physical world in the way we're used to thinking about them. So I would say, if you have people around you who are constantly telling you stuff about yourself, these people probably have some narcissistic issues. They're probably doing it to manipulate you to look at your reaction, and these people should be shied away from. I've said this before, that a true teacher always allows the student to come to him with questions or requests. A true teacher will very rarely tell their students that you are like that or you should do this, because a true teacher will simply reflect the student and allow he or she to come to that conclusion and that clarity themselves. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I was able to give some more insight into the nature of the Ajna-chakra and certain toxic behavior patterns in the New Age community that you all should avoid. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day or evening. Please subscribe if you liked the videos, or let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. May all beings be happy and free of suffering.